Hello, hello, my lovelies. Welcome to this episode of Coach Caris, Itchy, Bitchy, and Guests. Today I want to speak to you about confidence, fat loss, and how they're connected. So, a lot of women in midlife, right, struggle with fat loss, or it just feels like harder and difficult, right, more difficult. And being in the job that I'm in, I hear it all the time, right? The menopause. Menopause caused me to get fat. The menopause caused weight gain. The menopause is causing me to not be able to lose body fat. HRT stopped me dieting. It's none of this. Absolute none of this. All right. Admittedly, the menopause, the perimenopause, can absolutely make a lot of stuff harder. Like it could make life harder in general. I know that might sound slightly dramatic, right? But it's so true. But also, right, we're not broken. Our metabolism isn't broken. We're not lazy. We're not lacking willpower, right? It's just tough because you're trying to do what we did for the last 30 years, right? Or what worked for us 20 years ago. But because we have been trying so hard with our food being good, right? Not being bad, and our exercise, right, we've lost a lot of confidence in the world of fat loss and pretty much in the world of life, all right? So, confidence, right, I speak about discipline quite a lot, right? But I speak about discipline as in you need discipline more than motivation, right? So, motivation absolutely sucks, right? And the way that you'll get over the relying on motivation is to get discipline, all right? But the thing that actually changes everything in midlife for fat loss is confidence. So if you don't have any confidence in yourself and you don't have any self-belief in yourself that you're actually going to stick to a diet, or that you're going to improve your relationship with food, or that you're going to get to the stage that you will automatically make healthy choices, if you don't have any confidence in yourself, right, that you're going to manage that, you are never going to manage midlife fat loss. Never. You all know that I have been there. You all know that in midlife I put on a couple of stone, lost it, right? I've kept it off since April, July? April, May, June, July-ish. Can't quite remember. But when I first started that, right, it was really, really difficult. And I kept getting on the wagon and I kept falling off the wagon and I kept getting frustrated with myself. I kept getting cabot with myself. And I did go through a wee phase of restarting every Monday because by the time it got to the weekend, right, it was self-sabotage. I just didn't believe that I could do it. However, right, you need to trust yourself, all right? I can help you with that, but ultimately, you need to trust yourself. So, most women that I work with, right, know what to do. We all know what we should be doing, right? None of us are stupid. We're all educated women. Some of us are more educated than others, right? But like I said, none of us are stupid. We all know what we should be doing. But we struggle because we don't actually believe that we're going to manage it. We don't actually trust ourselves to do it consistently. We think if we can just get to Thursday afternoon or Friday, then we just hope that the weekend's going to go all right. It's probably not, and then we'll have to restart again on Monday, right? But we've done that for a very, very, very long time. And every time we do that, and every time we fuck it up at the weekend, and every time we restart on a Monday, our confidence gets less and less and less and less. And we get to the stage that we're just constantly doubting ourselves, and we just don't think we can manage that, right? So by the time the next time comes again for you to start, you're already doubting yourself. So when our confidence is low, everything feels harder. Everything feels harder, right? Making healthy choices is harder. Exercising is harder. Being consistent is harder. Motivation is gone. Discipline is harder. Everything is harder, right? And when we're in midlife, our hormones, like I've never mentioned this before, our hormones are actually all over the place, right? Hormones up and down, up and down, up and down, like a yo-yo, right? We have less tolerance for stress. We cannot handle stress the way we used to. When we over-restrict our food or over-exercise, that raises our cortisol, right, which is directly connected to stress. A lot of us don't sleep properly. You either have short sleep, so like you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's time to get up. I was up at 4 this morning. Or the sleep that we do have, like while we're in our bed, is not the great. It's not the greatest. It's not restful sleep, right? This increases, all of this increases our cravings as well. So it makes us want more sugar, right? We eat more sugar. It's that vicious circle. We then feel guilty because we've ate sugar. Like, why can't we just eat normally? Why can't we just make the healthy choices? Why can't we just cut out this, and this? Right? And poor sleep makes you hungry for a start. It does actually make you hungrier, but it makes your cravings worse as well. All right? And when we're not sleeping and when we're not eating properly, we have low energy. Low energy and consistency do not go hand in hand. They are, and low energy will destroy any consistency that you might want to have. So it's about learning that when we're in this midlife era, when we're in this era, our bodies it doesn't respond well to putting ourselves under excess amounts of pressure. It wants to feel safe. Our body wants to feel supported. It wants to feel loved. And let's face it, a lot of us have abused our bodies for a good 20 to 30 years. So if you're constantly second guessing yourself and pushing yourself harder, or waiting for motivation to come along, or hoping that you can just step on the scales and you've lost half a stone, fat loss at this point becomes unsustainable. So you're either going to super restrict your food and you're going to lose half a stone, you're going to feel amazing. What's going to happen? You're just going to put it all back on again. Of course you are, because you don't have an after plan. Or we're just going to keep doing this vicious circle of Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday. And motivation and hope are just shit, all right? So before you get the fat loss, we need to build your confidence. And it's things like just making small promises to yourself, doing your journal, having a wee reflection of what's worked for you today, thinking about doing your gratitude, thinking about what you're grateful for, and setting another plan for tomorrow. So it's about setting a plan, following that plan, and then just reflecting at the end of the day. So maybe you've been more in control of your food, which will build your confidence to do it again for day 2. Maybe your sleep's improved. You've been doing it for a couple of days now. Your sleep's improved. So when you wake up in the morning, you don't actually feel like you're on edge. You don't have that whole anxious shakiness going on. You actually feel that you're in a bit of control. Your nervous system has just calmed down slightly. And confidence as well, it comes from better sleep. That gives us more energy. And when we can nail a day, we can do another day, and then another day, and then another day. But it's about setting realistic parameters and realistic goals, not about over restriction. So fat loss, to me, right, coming from a fat loss coach, a midlife fat loss coach, right, fat loss is a side effect. A lot of my clients that start with me on my 4-week coaching of On Fire, all right, I'm not about to give you a massive calorie deficit, all right? You're going to be on maintenance calories. But just by having the confidence to pick the healthier options, you'll get fat loss. I guarantee it. But we need to get you feeling better first. So this is why I have created On Fire, because it's what I did to lose 26 pounds of midlife fat gain, all right? It's about getting yourself feeling better and then deciding what your fat loss goals are. It's not about setting your fat loss goals now when you're stressed out your napper, you're no sleeping, you've got no energy, your food choices are shit, and you're kicking the arse out of it every weekend. Because you'll never set yourself a realistic goal. Never. That's like turning around at 42 and saying, oh, I want to be the weight that I was when I was 18. I want to be the body shape that I was when I was 18. It's not realistic and it's not doable. It's about building trust in yourself, right? And the only way we can do that is by making small promises to ourselves and then keeping those small promises. And this is what we do in On Fire. We're working on your confidence, we're working on managing your stress, we're working on your sleep, we're working on your energy levels, and we're working on your daily habits. Those little promises that you've made to yourself that you're going to keep, and you're going to feel awesome. Yeah, then fat loss will actually feel and seem achievable, and it'll not feel like a massive battle or a massive war that you think that you're going to fail before you before you even start, all right? So if you're tired and scunnered, right, of just starting over, right, new year, new you, and all that pish, all right, just starting over, because realistically, if you've went into 2026, right, trying to live on 800 to 1,000 calories, like, how long are you going to last? I'll give you 2 weeks max. Absolutely, right? So wherever you are at the moment, I will meet you there, and we'll start from where you are. True story, all right? There's no judgment. All there is support, education, and accountability. That's it. I want you to ask yourself a question. I want you to ask yourself if you feel confident right now across all aspects of your life. Are you confident in your job? Are you confident in your relationships? Are you confident in looking in the mirror? Are you confident in parading about the bedroom in your underwear? Right now, a lot of that stuff, it doesn't necessarily it doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't matter what shape you are, it matters whether you are comfortable with your size and your shape, right? I was not comfortable with my size or my shape. I was getting to the stage that when I was putting my trousers on, I had muffin overhang. When I was dropping down to the floor in the gym to do a burpee, my stomach was hitting the floor before my boobs. That was not a comfortable feeling. It wasn't about getting to a size 10 or losing 2 stone. It was about getting to where I felt comfortable, pretty much, right? So if you don't feel confident in yourself at the moment, then I want you to think you're not a failure, but it is a bit of information that we maybe need to work on. All right, so On Fire, we're open right now, is designed specifically for midlife women. Why? Because I'm a midlife woman and I work with midlife women because I know exactly the shit that you're going through. All right, I want you to feel better. I want you to feel stronger up here mentally, definitely, and I want you to feel more in control before we worry about the scales. All right. 4 weeks of coaching for £99. This includes a free, yes, a free Rocket Up Your Arse video call worth £49. That's a half an hour video call, by the way, with me. It also includes access to my big, awesome goal setting workshop, which will allow you to review your 2025 and set your goals for 2026. All right. However, you need to sign up before Friday the 9th. Today it is, whatever day it is, Monday the 5th, alright? Friday the 9th. So £99 for 4 weeks of coaching, plus a free Rocket Up Your Arse phone call, video call, plus access to my big, huge, awesome goal setting workshop, all for £99 if you sign up before Friday the 9th of January, alright? It's not about you being weak or not having enough discipline, right? It's about confidence and self-belief and me helping you to get both of those things, all right? I will put the link in the show notes, all right? If you want to message me, you can get me on Instagram or Facebook, both under Coach Caris. All right, I'll maybe speak to you soon, my lovelies. Ta-ta!